The order is 10 a.m.
Mr. Cater.
Here.
Mr. Calvin.
Here.
And Commissioner Buckley is by phone but absent.
Okay. You got the roll call. Please stand as you wish for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today thankful for all the gifts that you bestow upon us. We ask for wisdom and guidance as the decisions are to be made today. All these things we ask in your Son's name, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Consent agenda is on the board and has been published. Motion.
I make a motion, we accept the consent agenda.
I second that. Any questions? Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. And Nick, my push button here is not working. I'll try this and I'll try this. Okay, got it. Make sure that I didn't do it twice. Okay, new grant, family treatment court. Who's gonna speak? Yes. Yes.
Do I need to come up there? Can I
Please.
just share here?
Start with your name, please.
My name is J.C. Coleman. I'm the current program director for Family Treatment Court.
Okay.
And we've been operating for the last 5 years on a SAMHSA grant. It ends at the end of May this year. So that means we need to apply for continued funds. There's a grant opportunity open right now. It's the almost exact same grant that we've been operating on for the last 5 years. The deadline to apply for that is April 1st.
Okay.
And I see your questions up
Yeah,
there.
I have a question.
Who will write the grant? So that's myself and Lori Wood, who's our administrator. She's actually staffing for court this morning. That's why she wasn't able to make it today. Of course, Commissioner Roop will have a little bit of say-so in that, help us with the planning process and all that. The amount of it is, again, like I said, it's similar to the one we just had. The one we just had was $425,000 a year for 5 years. This one is $400,000.
Okay.
So, and it's a 5-year period. The funding would actually, the announcement, if we get it, would, I think it's around Labor Day weekend is when they send out the announcement for that. And the funding would begin at the end of September, 1st of October, and then go until 2029.
And, okay, and purpose, I was gonna ask what it's for.
So the purpose, again, that's what we've had for the last 5 years. It's how we operate our program. It's how we provide treatment. The bulk of it is contractual in the budget. And that is to be able to pay for treatment for substance use disorder for those who don't have insurance, Medicaid, things like that. It's for us to be able to have trackers that go into the homes that kind of keep the clients on track with what their curfews and, making
Is
sure.
that electronic tracking?
No, it is not. It's persons.
Okay.
We have 2 persons we're contracted with. So we have UA collectors, so we can drug test them. We're required to test at least twice a week. So we can provide other services.
And that's random?
Yes, that's absolutely random. They don't know when they're going to be tested. They'll just get a call. They're supposed to show up within like 2 hours for that. It provides, part of the treatment is classes. They have to do like parenting, anger management, relationship classes. We have a trauma course that we're doing now, just different things like that. Trauma, yes. We have a contract with PCHAS for a family specialist, and that's a case manager that can actually go out into their homes and work with them on all of the other things, not just the substance use, for like budgeting, housing, transportation, helping them apply for insurance, all of those different things to apply for. So basically, it's just to run our program as we have for the last 5 years.
Okay. Now, this $400,000 amount, is that sufficient to do your job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. This past year for our continuance, we actually had around $105,000 left over that we were able to carry over,
Okay.
that we didn't have to give back. I anticipate there will be a little bit of that too at the end of this period. We are also able to file for what they call a no-cost extension. So that means by March, by next month, we can file that to go ahead and be able to keep operating until we apply for this fund.
How many people are being treated?
So over the last 5 years, we served 106 parents.
Parents?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you differentiating parents? Why, are their kids not involved or what?
That's just how the funding works. It's for the parents so that they can get the services that they need. That's why it counts as a client for us as the parents. The Children's Division still manages the actual children. And like if the children need any individual services like counseling or things like that, Children's Division takes care of that.
Okay. So this kind of a family issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We work with those where the children have been removed from the home due to substance use.
Okay.
And part of our application is to expand further into also treating the mental health side of it, because we find those go hand in hand. A lot of times there was a mental health or a traumatic issue that happened before the substance use issue. So, we're going to expand into that too, making sure they get access to treatment for that and medications and things they need for that as well.
Now, the people writing this grant, are they experienced? Did they do the last one?
Yes and no. I didn't, because we had our program director, she left in January of last year. So I've been managing it though since then, so.
But you feel confident to be able to do this?
Yes, yes, I do. And
And-
of course Lori and John were there, so they were part of that first process.
And John is Ruth?
Yes.
Okay. And, is it a matching grant or?
No.
Okay. So we're talking about a 5-year grant for $400,000 each year?
Yes.
Okay. Motion?
I make a motion, we give permission to apply for the new grant
Okay, I,
for the family treatment course.
and I second that. Any questions? Yeah, Louis.
Yes.
I think you need to further explain to our audience how the family treatment court actually works. I think there's some confusion possibly that this is children on drugs. In reality, it is the caregiver and or the parents.
Correct, it's the parent, or it can, in some cases, it can actually be the legal guardian or legal custodian of the child. So basically what happens is the parents or guardian get into some trouble, there's some substance use involved, and Children's Division and Juvenile take the children into care, into custody. A lot of times they're placed with family, that's a good thing, sometimes they're in a foster home. But then what needs to happen for reunification is the parent or guardian has to get treatment for that substance use, so they have to come to court with us in the beginning, weekly, to be held accountable, so we have the judge saying, this is what you need to do in order to get your kids back, and, again, as I mentioned, the drug testing, the classes, the counseling, the medications, all of those things, it's, to be able to reunify the family, so we're working with the parents, not the children.
And the program length would be variable based on the client.
Yes, individual progress is a big factor in that. Primarily, we follow ASPA guidelines, just like Children's Division does, which basically means there needs to be some kind of permanency plan in place at 12 months. A lot of times our folks are not done with their treatment at 12 months or haven't really made enough progress to graduate the program, but we will continue working with them. Children's Division can file an extension on how long the kids need to remain in care for that, or how long the case needs to stay open for that.
Then do you track, after completion of the program, do you track after the program?
Follow up.
We try to stay in touch with them just a little bit. Basically, we just kind of hear from the juvenile office and the caseworkers and things like that if they've had an issue, if the kids have came back into care and things like that. But no, we don't technically keep up with the family after that. We refer them to services for aftercare.
Do you have repeat offenders?
We've had a couple since I've been here. I've been here for almost 4 years now. We have had a couple, yes.
What is your success rate?
The success rate, I believe the last time I checked and you guys asked me this, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I think it was around 20% that actually graduate the program.
20%.
20%, yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of people get terminated or they drop out early because
To
they,
get terminated, does that mean they failed the test or?
that means they failed the program. If they get terminated, unfavorable termination is an unfavorable discharge, meaning like maybe they just weren't willing to go to treatment, maybe they continued using substances. Unfortunately, some people have just decided, I want to sign my kids over, I don't want my kids back. That's the reality of the situation that we're in.
Well, it's sad we have to have a program like this. but
It is very
it's a
sad,
necessity.
yes.
In the event that the program is not recertified or you not receive, what's the future there?
The future is just to keep looking for funding for right now. Our numbers are kind of low right now with the amount of clients that we are serving. So it should be sustainable for them at least to stay in their treatment that they have, because we've gotten most of them to the point where they have Medicaid and they can pay for those services.
Commissioners, could it not be considered that your opioid money that you are receiving be considered for this program in the event that it is not recertified?
We are writing the application now to send out to all the applicable groups to apply for the funds. Now, the funds, the grand total we're going to distribute is about $200,000 total across the board, the various groups that our committee passes on, however you want to word that. But it won't be this dollar amount that you're talking about. But it might be helpful if their application is approved by the committee.
But you're talking about $400,000 over 5 years,
Yes.
Each year.
Yes.
Wasn't that each year?
Each year, yes.
each year.
Each year, yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor of, permission to apply for the new grant, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, the approval of the joint project with City of Bonne Terre, Road and Bridge.
Yeah, Clay Copeland, Superintendent with Road and Bridge. We have been in discussion with the City of Bonne Terre over these last few months in regards to having sewer accessibility at our North Barn facility with the intent of future development with the commission and having future construction up there. So there is currently not a sewer line there now. It ends at the hospital, which is just down the hill. So we've discussed this with the City of Bonne Terre. We've met with them many times, and the cost from a contractor, which they normally contract out all their work, for a contractor to run that sewer line, basically roughly 1,800 feet, would be about $400,000 for the contractor for materials, labor, for everything involved. But with talking with the City of Bonne Terre and a joint effort with them to facilitate our needs and for us to work with them on this, they agreed to purchase all materials if we would provide labor and equipment and do the work. They buy the materials, we do the work. In that, it's going to roughly cost the City of Bonne Terre about $35,000 to $40,000 in material, and it will cost the county roughly about $20,000 to $30,000 in fuel material. Now our labor is, we kind of consider our labor a push. We're paying for that anyway. It would just take us away from doing road projects. However, at this time of the year, from the time that the snow falls until asphalt's available, we start working on these road projects. I'm not saying it's a downtime, because we never have downtime, but we are able to complete this at this time of year. So I know the City of Bonne Terre has agreed for us to do this, and that they would pay for their part, we pay for our part. Save them a lot of money, save us a lot of money, and at the same time provide the service that for our future needs.
I know Sean Kay was gonna try to be here, but he couldn't make it, so, but yeah, they are on board with it, with their part.
Sean Kay, the city administrator, and the mayor, Eric Schoenhardt, and the board have agreed to this, and we have the equipment, the manpower, and the skill and ability to be able to do this ourselves.
The city will gain sewer utility at the top of the hill,
They will.
and we will gain sewer utility at the top of the hill.
Yes.
So that'll help us both on that matter.
They will. And like I said, they agreed to do this. If not, it was gonna cost the county, which we were really not in a position to do, to pay for this $400,000 to have sewer to that facility. So it's kind of a win-win for both of
Now,
us.
you talk about that construction cost of $400,000. That, it's only 1,800 feet, you think, oh, run a pipeline. Sewer 101 says that it's not a pressure line, it's a drain line. And you can only do it at a certain angle of drain, fall. And you don't want your liquids to outrun your solids. So I get some head shaking back here. And so what you do is, and we're talking what, a 40 or 50 foot elevation change?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
over 1,800 feet, so you can't just run the line. So what you do is you run it into manholes. That's not politically correct, person holes. But you drain into that and it falls to another level and then drains slowly and then it falls. And then, so you have these person holes that you run this through. And I think there's 5 of them, 5 or 6.
8.
That many?
Yeah, 8.
Okay. So that's why it's so expensive to do this. And so, okay. Any questions? Oh, wait, I don't have a motion. Okay.
Make a motion, we approve the joint project with City of Bonne Terre for the purpose of supplying the North Barn property with sewer utility.
Okay, and I second that now. Do I have, yes, Rich? You
Clay,
want another version of Red Sewer 101, I know.
Clay, my question is, do you have any idea when the asphalt plants are gonna start running again?
They usually open mid-March, but
It's a temperature thing.
whenever they call us and tell us asphalt's available, we will have it, but right now, it's not available.
So is it your intention to get this done before that time?
Yes, we anticipate about 3 weeks. We'll have this done 2 to 3 weeks.
And if I may, I would like to thank my engineering partner Harold for giving us all the damn information I think we didn't think we needed.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Got the elevator quietly.
Thank you.
I got a quick question. I'm under the assumption this has already been engineered. You're just going according to the engineer's specs, everything, and our liability has been taken care of.
There is, as far as it being engineered, but there will be oversight from the city as we perform this project. But as far as it being engineered, no. But there are parameters that we have to adhere to, and the city will be the oversight on this project. So they'll be out there with us as we're doing the work, I'm sure it's done.
Questions? All in favor of going to work with the sewer system, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Clay. Okay, interest income. This again is road and bridge, yes.
Yeah, we have been in discussion and requested the utilization of the interest that is earned, that has been earned from our ARPA funds to be able to be utilized for bridge projects. More specifically, this will focus on the Cedar Run Bridge project, but there may be others that would be involved with the amount of money that we would receive
Okay.
for this.
Anytime I hear ARPA funds, I need to hear from Parks and Bridget on first of all, how much are we talking about? And what are the plans, any other plans for the funds?
Plans would be.
Bridget, do you have any idea?
Come from them, the plans.
I don't know any specific plans besides what he's talking about.
Well, we
As
have,
of the budget of last year, there was no allocation of the interest that has been accrued on the ARPA funding. It was discussed, but it was not, it was decided we weren't gonna do anything with it at that point in time. I can tell you it's just shy of $360,000.
okay, say that again, please.
It's just shy of $360,000 that we've earned so far in interest.
The interest on only, okay.
Interest only, and it is unrestricted to ARPA guidelines.
Okay.
And our focus, just to give you a little background, we know that the Seven Arch Bridge, if anybody's familiar with that, Hillsborough Road, just south of K Highway on Hillsborough Road. We know that there is more than likely some forthcoming work that's going to need to be done to that bridge. When that happens, one of the major go-arounds is through Cedar Run, which is the bridge is in terrible disrepair, dire due to being replaced. So we really wanted to focus on this prior to the Seven Arch Bridge maybe being closed for a time while they're doing inspections and possibly repairs to it. So we're looking ahead in anticipation of that, getting this finished. Now, it's currently a low water structure, if you will.
Cedar Run.
Cedar Run is, and we will replace it with a bridge. So
Which you don't get the BRO funds.
there's no federal funding available because it's not considered a bridge right now. It's just a low water crossing. You get federal funding for improving or replacing current bridges. This is not considered a current bridge. Now, it will be when we get it finished, but we will receive no funding for that at all. So that's one reason that we're requesting to be able to utilize this interest income for that and for other bridge projects as well. We don't want to say it's all for Cedar Run, but it could be for other projects as well.
I don't have a thought on that.
I'm not sure. Carrie, did you have anything on that? Carrie,
No, I just know that's a very hazardous place up there. Over the years, we've had problems there.
Right. And you have any problem with us using the interest, ARPA?
No, no, I don't.
Okay, I just wanna make sure I got you on. I'm fine with it. I know it's, so you know, things like this should be budgeted, but really, if we've got them that are not for something else, I have no problem using it. This is something that needs to be done.
Is there a set amount you guys are asking
Yeah,
for, or just all of it?
All of it.
Up to what the bridge cost, I would say.
all of it. I would probably tighten that a little bit. You know, I don't have, personally have a problem with, if that's what this is the only really unencumbered major money we have. If you want to use it on bridge projects, it's fine. But it probably should be what this cost is for what bridge, and then you approve it, just not a carte blanche. Yeah, whatever, all of it, spend it, and
Is this bridge been
That's pretty
engineered
done.
already, correct? Or
Yes.
this low water has been?
It's been, all the engineering, design and engineering, the,
and bid,
and bid.
it has been bid already.
Well, we're gonna do this in-house ourselves.
This ours.
We bid the beams out, yes.
This is the one that was gonna cost us like 900,000.
We're gonna do this
it
in-house.
in-house for approximately 3 something.
How much do those beams cost?
What we're gonna pay.
Well, we bid them out, we haven't.
Oh,
received
you haven't
the
got
price.
bid back.
Oh, so
No.
they got a bid, but they didn't know how they were gonna pay, it wasn't in the budget this year.
Right.
How do you, of course, we haven't opened the bids, I don't want you to talk about dollars.
Maybe you table it till you get the bids back.
Well, we can do that, there's no real time pressure on this.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, once, the beams are bid and approved, you're looking at about a 6-week lifetime before they arrive. And we wanted to get all of our, the head walls, the center walls all completed, all our excavation completed before the beams arrive, of course.
Okay,
So we're, just today, we're actually setting beams on a bridge on Feezer Road today. And when we finish with Feezer, our intent is to go right to Cedar Run and start with our crew.
If this gets approved, is what you're saying.
Well, if it don't, I mean, we.
You don't have it in the budget, is what
Well,
you.
we do. Yeah,
You do
we
have-
do.
You had processed it for planning for this
We
year.
did.
Yes.
We did.
It was my understanding part of Feezer Road cut into your
It
budget.
did. It
That
did.
was not an anticipated expense in your guys' budget.
Well, no, it wasn't, and we were able to complete the Feezer Bridge project in-house without a substantial cost on the bid for the entire road.
when will the bids be open?
I think you can give your indication that you intend on spending this interest money for that project, but you don't have to, vote on that until.
Let's take that under advisement.
When will the
until
bids be
bids
open?
come in.
The bids are due, I think it's the end of this month, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Got another week or two?
I think.
Yeah, there's still a
I'm
little
not
time.
exact, I think.
It's already run in the paper, I
It
think.
has. Yeah, it
Well,
has.
why don't we do that? Just take it under advisement until the bids come in, and then we'll,
As long as you three
I'm
have
ready to
pretty
do-
well
yeah.
assumed that as long as this comes in.
I believe it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But
So let's
to
do
give
that.
you an amount
yeah.
for
I
what the
understand.
beams will cost, and then what our cost is gonna be for our concrete and excavation and.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's put that under
Materials.
advisement and look at it again.
That way we don't table it.
We're not saying no, we're just putting it under advisement.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you, Clay.
is that true to the next one? Okay.
Yes, it's true.
Mike, are you gonna talk about this or what?
Yep. Here's all.
Mike Sumter?
Mike Sumter, Parks Department Superintendent. We're asking for permission to bid out the phase 1 trail system on Brown Creek. Do you have any questions, or do you have the information on Cochrane? We're looking at about 2 weeks out before they're done, with the drawings, and, we'll be ready to submit for
Okay.
bid solicitation.
Well, I make a motion to give permission to bid out the Owl Creek Trails Phase 1.
Second, I'll do the second. Now, this is a 1.1 mile paved trail. It's 10-foot wide paved, and it's ADA, so we could get a vehicle back there, somebody breaks a leg back there somewhere, or whatever. I hope they don't do that, but other than that, and,
It'll probably happen.
yeah, it'll happen,
More than likely.
yeah. With, not attacked by a wild bear. or-
We're ready if it does.
Yeah.
We're ready if it does.
Okay, questions?
And this will all be paid out of the grant, correct? No.
Partially,
Partial.
so,
Well,
yeah, it's the
that-
TED grant.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor, aye. Oh, wait, what? Yes.
DED grant, what was that?
Trying to put all those together, dude. Yes. Thank you, Mike. Yes, go ahead.
And this is phase one. This is the initial part of the park. It'll hopefully grow vastly after that, but phase one, this gets us into the park business.
We're moving right along on phase two. I believe Bridget submitted our grant request, 2 Fridays ago, for the recreational trails program grant, which
Okay.
will lead us into phase two.
And that equipment we bought will be delivered tomorrow. I believe.
Tomorrow morning, correct?
Tomorrow morning, and so the instigation of the trails begins at that point. You'll have the equipment to lay them out.
Yeah, the majority of the trails are already there. They just need widened and cleared out because of the bat situation. If
Yeah.
all the trees aren't taken down that need to be taken down by April 1st, then they can't be taken down until after November 1st.
The bat situation is the state of Missouri thing about the Indiana bat.
Federal.
Federal, okay,
yes.
federal,
Yeah.
about this Indiana bat. And at, end of March, you cannot take out hardwood trees, hardwood trees at that point, because the bat may not have a place to land. So we are restricted mightily on doing this work up until that date.
Correct.
So-
After March 31st, we will still be clearing the eastern red cedar,
Yeah,
which we're working with Fish and Wildlife Service to, which they'll actually be paying us to eradicate the invasive
okay,
species.
just no hardwoods.
No hardwoods.
And when does that end?
I believe it's November 1st.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't
All right,
realize that
so-
long. Okay.
You're-
Any other questions? I did get the motion, right?
Yes, got the motion, just need it all in favor?
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mike. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. And thank you, Mike, for your work on that, and Carrie also, you've done a great job.
Okay, I think the auditors want to juggle the books. Is that the right phrase?
It's not the wording I would use.
He's got some official term or something.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah,
else.
something.
Amber Modulay Auditor's Office, I provided you all with a list of all the budget amendments we're required to do for all the funds that went over in their expenses for 2023. It is for 13 funds totaling $1,527,096.01. We are requesting that those budget amendments to actual be approved.
And we're not gonna ask her to go through each item line by line, right?
No, do you want me to do those 13 at that price, or just go ahead and do them all in one?
The budget amendments to actual as
Thank you.
provided is
Okay.
fine.
I make a motion, we do the budget amendments to actual amounts for Norris's office.
I second that. Questions?
A
Oh,
majority of
make
that-
her answer something.
A majority of that was for the Prop P funds. We received that local use tax. We received significantly more money than we thought. And of course, since that's all transferred to the sheriff's department, it caused a major part of our budget amendments.
What was it,
Actually, it was,
2.5 million, something?
yes, we had accounted for $1 million, so we had to make a budget amendment for that fund of $1,117,437.
Of the total of,
Total of $2,117,437.90.
so over half.
So, yeah, more than almost 3/4 of what was done was just for that fund.
Okay, and that all went to the sheriff's department,
Correct.
every penny. Okay, we promised that in the campaign.
Smiling back
Pass
there.
that back. Okay, got a motion second? Or did I?
Yes.
Okay. Did you make a motion?
I made the motion, I hope you said you would.
Okay, I second that. Okay, just checking you. Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
for putting in better words.
Yeah, my words wouldn't. Okay, come on up. This woman needs a floor.
Any other?
Good morning,
Okay.
Christina Bowen, circuit clerk. I'm coming to ask permission to bid out for new flooring for our first floor office. At this time, it's more of a health issue. I have several ladies that are getting sick, they have a lot of allergies. One of them has started we think that we're gonna start with the flooring first to kind of help clean up the office, 17 years old. So
Yeah. And we believe that there will be no asbestos issues on that. We do have some in the courthouse, but we think that this is free and clear of
we
asbestos.
think it's just concrete.
Okay, we think it's safe.
And the budget?
No,
I
there's,
did not budget that, that's
Okay.
why I'm asking for permission to.
the bottom line covers that. It's, this is a new thing that's cropped up, and we think it's a health issue and really should be handled.
What's on the floor now?
Carpet.
Carpet,
Uh-oh.
17-year-old carpet, and, yeah, anyway.
And you're going to wood, is that what, like?
It's a laminate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna ask this, but Brian's not here. How did we miss yours with them doing all the flooring? How did we miss yours? I guess I'm not really sure.
I think he's asking why hasn't it already been?
Yeah, Brian did a lot of them.
Oh,
How did we miss yours?
I don't know, I know that him and Vicki had talked about it at one time, but it just never did get
Probably
done.
with the change. Okay, I know Brian's not here and I hate to throw that question out there, but we have done a lot of them and it's.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that a maintenance budget that he was doing those in, or?
He was
And
budgeting those per year.
No, because Brian won't be able to do this work.
Right, no.
And not because he can't do it, but because of time.
Prior, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This year, no. This one, no.
Our maintenance crew normally handles all of our flooring, walls, everything. They do a wonderful job. But they are just booked up solid right now. And so they can't do this. So this bid will be for the installation and materials of the floor. And that is unusual for us.
Christine, what funds would, so some funds you do have?
I do not have any funds
You
for
don't have
that.
any
Oh, I thought
funds?
you said you had something.
I have discretionary funds, so, but,
But we don't know the bid amount, so we
Right.
can't, okay. Okay, so there's some help in there maybe, but probably not enough to do it. So,
So if we bid this out, my question, and it comes in larger than we think, is there a possibility that Brian would rearrange his schedule to, since this is a priority?
Possibility, we might have to move it to the next budget.
let's don't approach that until we get there. Let's don't.
Might have to turn it
Don't
down
solve
and
that
say-
problem until it's a problem. So, that's possibly, but he is booked up solid. I guess that we need a motion to, permission to bid, both installation and materials. So, you wanna do that?
Not knowing how.
He's in deep thought.
Yes, because you
You're
could
just-
say that I
you're
didn't.
just requesting permission to bid.
Just
bid.
okay,
That's
let's
what
send
we're
it out
doing
to bid, and if we can't pay for it, we can't pay for it.
Right.
So, thank you, Lily, I'm trying to put too much into this, thinking of the last bid we were talking about. I'll get permission to bid the new floor for the main office of the circuit clerk's office.
I will second that. Yes, Rich?
Do we have an estimate of the cost?
We can't talk cost if we're talking bids. Now, we don't want to put a dollar amount out, so the bidders can say, oh, I can bump it up to that.
So we have no idea what it's going to cost us.
That's why you're requesting a bid.
That's why we get a bid. If you're talking bids, you cannot talk dollars.
And Richard, we send the bid out and it's way over, we just say, we can't do it. That's exactly, we turn,
Yeah, we
we
can
turn the bids
refuse all
down.
bids.
We can refuse them.
I'm all aware of that, it's just,
I know what you're asking.
obviously, it's an important thing, it's an emergency thing, but I would think that somebody would have some idea in the back of their brain of how much it costs.
But even if we knew to the dollar, we couldn't say it. So,
We
Thank you.
probably do have an idea of the square footage.
yeah.
Leave it at that.
Yeah. We've got a lot of experience putting down.
$10, Rich? I say 10.
I'm sorry?
The bids will be 20. I say 10, the bids will be 20.
Okay, any other questions?
Sorry, I know what you're at.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
thank you.
Okay, in the discussion of outside contract at jail. Dan, you gonna do this, or?
I was going to, we don't have all the information in yet. We're still in negotiations with the medical, company that, takes care of it, so we just need to table it and probably till next week.
Okay, so is that table or, you know, just advisement?
We will still be, doing this at some point, but we don't have all our numbers yet. We may contract with the company, we may try to do it, with the county doing contracted employees, we don't know yet.
So do you want to table it?
Well,
till
you
it
see
comes
my
up?
questions on that about malpractice insurance various things that come into this. And does our current supplier have a contract? Are they-
Yes.
And what's the term, the length of terms of that, or length of time?
Well, that contract was up at the end of this month. or
Okay, so that's,
in
it's
March.
due anyway.
In March, anyway.
Okay,
Our
we're-
records show it doesn't expire till 11/30.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if you wanna take it under advisement, that would be when you guys are ready to bring it back on. Or do you wanna table it till next week? We can do that too.
Okay, Amber, I didn't hear what you said about 11:30.
Well, there's been like 3 different contracts over the years. There was just the medical services, then they had the mental health and the nursing. And so our latest contract we show is November 30th.
Yeah.
But the original contract just for the medical services was a February end date. So I think there needs to be some confirmation of what the actual contract end date is.
Or even to be sued by the
Yes.
current provider saying that you're in violation of the contract. So
Okay,
somebody-
now, 11:30, is that last year or this year?
This year.
I can clear some of this up.
2024.
Okay.
I can clear some of this all up. The company has contacted us and says they are wanting to, stop their medical services with us. That's one reason we're into this, so there's not gonna be a problem with the contract.
Okay,
They gave us 30 days notice.
okay. So
So
are
I
you
will
only,
need, I will need that for our records.
We haven't done that yet.
Do you, but you said you had it in an email from
Yes.
them, so I will need that for the.
so that's in writing then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we have that.
Okay. And are you only looking at one potential replacement company?
Well, there are several out there, and if we decide to do that, we will probably bid that out.
Okay.
If the company we use now leaves, they want to come and talk to us, is why we need to put this off, because they're gonna come here this week and talk to us.
Okay. What is the time frame that we need to operate on? Bad choice of words there, but,
Well, if they leave us, we're gonna have to pay people to do it until we get lined out on it.
okay.
If they don't leave, which is a good possibility, they may stay, they may provide part of the services. We talked about the mental health part of it, the doctor's malpractice insurance you asked about, they provide that. And so all these different things are gonna make a difference. Right now, their prices went up to right around $270,000 a year. That's a bunch.
Gone up from how much? How much?
Started out 120.
I think so, but that was before we had the nursing and the mental health
Right,
as
right.
well.
Dan, you don't anticipate having a contract ready for next week, do you?
No.
Then I would take it under advisement.
It's under advisement, okay. So you feel advisement?
Hey, we'll take it under advisement.
Okay, yes.
I was just gonna let Dan know, if, I mean, you don't mind I sit in on that, I'd love to, but it's up to you guys if you want me over there or not. I'd like to sit in
On the meeting?
on the meeting, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, just let me know. I appreciate it.
I won't go because that would constitute an official meeting, so.
I like to be involved in all that stuff.
All right, so we put that under advisement and it will be, I say, discussed privately and all that, and then we'll bring it back up to the meeting. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Trying. No, that's not working.
Here,
There it went. IT's on top of things. Okay, our next meeting will be this time next week, right here. And,
I can wiggle my nose.
other business, anybody got any correspondence?
I got a lot of them, but, take it careful.
Yeah.
You guys take it careful.
Public comments. Anybody got a public comment? Departmental reports.
Could I make one on elections?
Yes.
We start today, the election for April. Voting starts today as of, when I was over there at 9:30, there were 0 voters. But we anticipate that picking up some. The next week, file for the August elections, okay? Just a reminder, you can get in there and file 8 o'clock. You file up to 5 o'clock. Doesn't matter what order, it's not like the old days where you waited outside. You will get a number, we will have a lottery for anybody that files the first day on what order their name appears on the ballot. Just as a reminder, the public administrator position's open, the treasurer, the assessor, associate commissioners, sheriff, and coroner. You have to have $100 check to file, and.
Made to whom? Made out to whom?
The Central Committee of the party that you're filing for. The public administrator has to be bonded for at least $2,000. The treasurer has to be bonded for $20,000. That's about it.
And that date is.
Questions?
Next week.
Next week, the
27th.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
On that bonding, is that state statute?
Yes.
So public administrators, 2,000?
Yeah. It wasn't anything until this they just started
And they handle a variety of funds?
Yeah, to a lot of people.
Yeah, it seems awful low to me, but that's what I believe with the statute. We checked it this morning, and because this is the first time this was required. Is that not correct, 2,000, is that what they're saying?
Yes, I believe it's an affidavit of being able to be bonded.
Yeah, you have to prove your tax.
Thank you, Vesta.
May not be bonded.
I appreciate you, Vesta.
Yeah,
You
that
do a
seems
good job.
awful low,
Yeah.
as far as money that's possibly could be stolen. That's what you bond against, basically.
Kevin, when you said the drawing, so is it just for the first day that it's a drawing?
Just
Is
for the
my
first day.
files two different?
That's correct.
Okay.
If you file between 8 and 5 the first day, your name will be put in a hat and it will be drawn in what order your name will appear on the ballot.
But
That
somebody's
started
at
a few
it.
years ago, much better.
Somebody's that first day, then somebody shows up the second day, doesn't matter, the first day will be.
They will be all say 3 people file. First 2 file the first day, lottery's done for who the first, and then the person that files the second day is third on the ballot.
Is it illegal to carry a gun and run your opponents off?
Depends upon where you're at.
Okay. That's not a suggestion.
Well, Amber's leaving. It's like, I'm out.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought you all, since several people in this room were affected by that, and
I'm not
since the
a-
press is here, you should be aware that we've got that going up this week.
Okay. Any other public comments? I'm sorry, departmental reports. Okay, I don't have a picture, I wanted it, but I just didn't do it. But the new curbside box out there, and it was not Gabe that helped Jason put that in, it was the new guy, Lee, I think is that his name? Yeah, but we appreciate the work they did. If you look at that new box out there, it's wonderful.
Oh, it's pretty. Oh,
It's a
yeah.
lot better quality than you can
Well,
buy.
and it's a lot more safe than the other
Yeah.
one too.
So we really appreciate their work, and these guys took that on, designed it and built it and installed it, and we appreciate them. Thank you so much. And Mike's got a new place to hang out.
I was gonna go to Cracker Barrel and get us some rockers, but, for the front porch, but they won't fit, I've already measured.
But they
Porch
want
ain't
that,
big enough.
Mike, what would that cost?
$5,805.
You know, just,
$5,805.
it's not finished inside.
Correct, yeah.
But we'll soon be,
Yes.
and be insulated and wired, and so he can run his computers in there and this kind of thing. But this is located out at the park now,
It is.
so he's got a place he can go. And so he's, and like I said a while ago, we're getting the new equipment right away, and that will be parked safely up on the landfill property.
Correct.
Basically, it will be-
Inside of their building.
Yeah, it'd be much safer for vandalism, possibilities and all that, so it's moving, things are going. Okay. Notice of intention to build. Okay, we have a letter from the tower company that will be putting a 275-foot tall tower at the North Barn property. And I didn't bring my pointer in, but I was gonna say, point out where that tower will be. I wish I could.
Whose guy wires are?
Right there.
Right.
What'd you leave for,
Yes.
Marks?
Right
Where'd you
there.
point? Right here. Who did that?
I did that.
Oh.
I didn't even have to get up and go do it.
Man, that was
Okay,
awesome.
but that's 275-foot tall tower, self-supporting, no guy wires. And in that same notice to the public, there were like 5 or 6 other towers that are gonna be amended, or one of them or two are gonna be taken away.
I believe 4 total.
They'll leave 4, okay. And some of those with guy wires on them will be modified, will be self-sustaining. But this is a requirement that we make this notice to the public. Yes, Rich?
Is this, did you say the power company?
Tower.
Yeah, but for whom is this?
It's 911.
Yep, so it's a 911 tower.
Yes.
So it's our county 911.
Yes.
And they're going to lease the property from you?
How would you word that?
Not lease. We have came to an agreement with the 911 board, that they will utilize this 60 by 90 area, fence it in, and at the same time do some improvements as far as fencing in our property.
Sure.
And should there be additional, companies or needs for someone else to want to utilize this tower, and if there's rent involved, they would split that with the county.
So is that an oral agreement, or?
Well, we met with the commission.
And this is a thick form that, a public announcement, however you want to word that, for this. So it's not just a verbal. It's in-depth
So
paperwork.
you've approved a written,
It was an agreement between the commission and the director of the 911.
that happened in an official meeting.
Special meeting.
Special, yeah, it was.
So to my question, it's at no cost to 911. The land is being given to them to build the tower.
I think we retain ownership.
We do.
We retain ownership.
So we retain ownership, and if there are other entities that wish to use the tower,
Yes.
will we gain income from them?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll get half the income. Good point.
But to Kevin's question, is there an agreement between 911 and you?
Written.
No.
It's forthcoming.
No, it's not.
We haven't seen it yet.
This is just a notice of
That's
it.
worth the paper it's written on.
In that case, have 911 pay for your sewer.
They don't need.
Bingo.
Say that again.
They don't have any use for sewer.
They don't have a toilet.
Oh, okay.
But you need sewer, and they need the land.
Road and Bridge does not need sewer.
They hold it.
Huh?
We
Yeah.
need it because of what our
Of
future
future
is
development.
of the property.
Yeah, the county needs future development.
Thank you for allowing me to open up a can of worms.
In the future, we hope to use this North County property, North Barn property, to improve our presence in the northern part of the county. Better law enforcement circulation. They'll have a place to land up there and do their paperwork and different things. They'll have kind of an office at that point. Also, those cold nights, maybe the Road and Bridge guys need to go in and microwave a sandwich and go to the bathroom and use the sewer. Yeah. Yeah.
We currently use Johnny's.
Yeah. But anyway,
At the barbershop.
it'll be an improvement all across the board. I want to give a shout out to our 911. And lately, there's been an issue in the paper about, I think Perry County is having problems with that. And the counties tend to come to our 911 service. It's very professional, well done. I'm bragging them up because I like what they do. And Alan Wells is he really presented this well and had the details of it. So I just want to shout out to 911 and my pride in how they do things. Okay. Any other departmental reports?
Harold, I'd
Yes.
like to just add, this is just one of many towers that's going up in the county to enhance that.
Yeah, like I said, that notice it covered, I think 7, he said 4 are going to remain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one of them's at Knob Lake.
4 new constructions.
Yeah. But this really enhances the communication that we need for emergency services. And we're doing well, and 911 is doing well. The county and 911 are not together, but we work side by side, and I think do a good job.
Harold, if I may, the county and 911 have come a long way in the past decade.
Thank you.
You are to be proud of that.
I am.
Yeah, we have several areas throughout the county where we do not have radio service or cell service. So, these other tires are needed, the fire departments, the EMS, and the sheriff department.
Yeah, and it was brought out by Alan in that meeting that some of these tires will have other uses on them. And there'll be income from that, and the county gets half of that income. So,
And I'd like to know, the county commission and 911, Road and Bridge in particular, have a great working relationship with the 911 center. Anytime we can help them out ethically, we do, as they do us. It's a great working relationship, as we have with the sheriff's department. All county departments do that, but it's a very, very professional and very advantageous relationship for both them and us.
well, Keith, that's having good people in the department. Okay, any other questions, comments, departmental reports?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second, all in favor?
Aye.